Friends, we all are in the football season and we are eagerly waiting to watch the Super Bowl. I'd like to share with you a true story that happened in 1970s. In the late 1970s, Daryl Stingley was sitting on the top of the football or professional football world as a wide receiver for the New England Patriots. Then one August afternoon, in a preseason game, he was viciously hit by Jack Seton from the opposite team. That bone-crushing smash left the 27-year-old Daryl, paralyzed from the chest down. Daryl could use only one hand and get around in an electric wheelchair. Though light went out for him that day, Daryl never gave up. He knew there was someone up there who could turn the lights back on again. He had very strong faith in the prophecy of Isaiah, which we just heard in today's first reading. The people who live in darkness will see a great light. On those who live in the dark land of death, the light will shine. Daryl was still confined to his wheelchair and unable to walk, but had a new vision of himself and his life. Later, in an interview with Newsweek magazine, Daryl insisted that in some ways his life is better now than it was before. He said this about his team with the Patriots. I had a tunnel vision, and all I wanted to be was to be the best athlete I could. And a lot of things were overlooked. Now I have come back to them. Again, he told another reporter from Chicago Tribune that the tragedy had changed his life for the better in a surprising way. Daryl said, "This is a rebirth for me, not only physically, but spiritually. I have a lot more meaning and purpose to live for now than ever before." Dear friends, these are incredible words from a young man whose only dream of being a football star was shattered and buried in a wheelchair. Similarly, in our life, like the death of a spouse, the rejection by a loved one, the loss of good health, all these things can throw our life out of gear, sometimes into temporary darkness. During these difficult times, we must always remember that Jesus is the true light who brought hope to the humanity through his life, his ministry, and his teachings in the darkness of this world, just as Isaiah the prophet had prophesied. In today's gospel, Jesus calls us to reform our lives to enter into God's kingdom. The trouble is that all of us want the kingdom, but not the reform part. It is like those who want the elected office, but not the campaign. Those who want the best grades in school, but not the study. Those who want health, good health, but not exercise or diet. Most of us want to know the rule of God in our life, but we don't want to give up the nets, the entanglements that trap us and hold us back. These entanglements could be certain people, it could be some objects in our life, or even the relationships that separate us from God. We don't want to give up our wrong relationships, habits of arrogance, or bad addictions. Those nets really weigh us down and hold us tight. To know the kingdom of God in our life, we must be willing to leave behind those nets. Just like the apostles did when Jesus called them. The Gospels show us that the apostles who left their nets and followed Jesus because Jesus gave them a new mission, a new purpose, and of course, a new meaning for their lives. Similarly, for us to follow Jesus is not a matter of leaving our family, our friends, our job, or even our homes. It's a matter of leaving behind a way of living, a lifestyle, and that is far more difficult. Many years ago, when people had troubles in their life, when they could not succeed in their life, they were told, go west and you will be fine. And they often took the problems with them because the real issue was not in the east, but it was in their heart. So the problem is not where we live, but how we live. Not how much we have, but what we do with what we have. Not in finding the truth God has revealed us, but in accepting the divine truth and making it part of our daily life. I'd like to close with an interesting idea that was put forward by Mark Twain. He said this to the effect, we can only tell what is important in our life, not by what we get out of it, but by what we are willing to give up or sacrifice for it. Let me say that again. We can only tell what is important in our life, not by what we get out of it, but by what we are willing to sacrifice for it. Today, let us ask ourselves, what nets, webs, and entanglements are we willing to give up or leave behind at the shore so that we can follow the Lord?